out early this morning, and one such company is Spaldra Technologies. We're joined currently by Mr. Srikanth Pallam Reddy, the chairman of the company, who joins us in the studio. Hi, Mr. Reddy. Thanks so much for joining in.
Thank you.
Let's start by talking about the positive of your numbers. You're almost moving into an operating profit.
Correct.
Now, in fact, you've cut down your losses at that level. Next quarter, could we see green at an operating profit?
Okay, I think the expectations have to be realistic because we have to look at any number in the context of many other parameters. Firstly, I would classify this as a tech startup in a slightly more advanced stage.
Sure.
Number two, it is a vertical focused e-tailer. It's an e-com company. And the amount of money raised by this company, or what the parent company has put in there, is only 30 crores so far.
Okay.
So if you look at an e-com company with only 30 crore investment so far, that has already come to a 12.5 crore net revenue run rate, which is almost a 50 crore revenue company. I think is a huge milestone, because if you look at other what I call vertical focused e-commerce companies, unfortunately most of them are not listed, like for example furniture vertical or an apparel vertical or whatever, they would have invested about 10 times the amount, but their revenues would still be about the same. But the second and a more important milestone that we have achieved is we have achieved what I call a direct cost break-even point. So if you look at e-com companies, most of the complaints have been around deep discounting and heavy advertising and loss on even fundamental expenses, not able to recover even cost of goods in some cases. But if you look at latest1.com, as of this quarter, we have achieved, when I say margin contribution positive, if I say the net revenue is about 11.5 crores, our cost of goods plus entire cost of sales, marketing, or what you call customer acquisition cost, plus the entire cost of delivery and logistics has been covered, and there's been about a 15-20 lakh gross margin there. So it's only the indirect costs that have to be covered.
Okay.
That brings us to your second question. Can we turn fully green in one more quarter? I think that's a tall ask because two reasons. The company is facing only one challenge right now, which is the undelivered returns. But that is the bane of e-commerce in India, and I don't think you can isolate that as an issue facing only latest1.com. The returns are currently, that is undelivered returns. That means impulse purchases, irrational behavior, or whatever. People place the order and refuse to take delivery when the delivery boy shows up at the door. That has, it's around 35%. And we have set a target to bring it down to about 25%. I guess that will take a little bit of time. But the day we get to the 25% returns, even at the current revenue run rate, I think we will become the first Indian e-com company to break even on a full EBITDA basis.
Okay. If you could just tell us, Mr. Reddy, what was the reason for the 18% revenue drop that you've seen? If I look at it on a quarter-on-quarter basis, yes, on a year-on-year basis, it's looking good at 67%, but QOQ it's dropped. Could you tell us the key reason why?
Very good. So if you see, there are two things. One, the bottom line, which is the losses, have come down from more than 4 crores down to less than 2 crores in the same quarter. The revenue might have dropped about 15-20%, but the losses, or what I call the bottom line improvement, is more than 55%. So like I said just now, the important objective right now is to get to a full EBITDA break-even basis, which means we have to go through re-engineering of the business model right now. So what we have to do is we have to find ways to generate sales or customers or orders which result in less returns. So what we do is we have converted a lot of PIN codes, almost 10,000 PIN codes, only into a prepaid basis. We are not doing a COD risk there anymore. Number two, we have also started, allowing a cancellation process in the orders. We have implemented what we call a suspect database, in which there are almost 40,000 IDs where the orders are passed through, and if any of those orders are coming from those 40,000 records, then we automatically cancel it. So we are taking all of these measures to come to a more robust business model from which we will scale up. So we have taken a short-term revenue drop, but a much more stronger bottom line approach. And from here, we will rebuild the business, and you can certainly expect
All right.
growth quarter on quarter, current quarter as compared to last quarter.
You know, Mr. Reddy, I think you should keep telling our viewers whatever you're telling them. It's having a good impact on them. The stock is up close to around 10% as we speak. So the street really is taking that quite positively. But I wanted a couple of details very quickly. We're running short on time. What is the average order value currently? I mean, in the last quarter, what is the number of orders you get every day? I think it was around 4,000 or thereabouts. And you have that big, ambitious target of, I think, close to around 500 crores in the next 3 years. Are you on course? Is it looking very ambitious? I mean, you're telling us various challenges. So I asked you the question.
Okay, so there are 3 questions in it. The first question is the average order value has increased from 400 rupees to 750 rupees. And we are currently the country's largest tech and mobile accessories vertical. We stock more than 7,500 SKUs. We have 1,25,000 visitors on our site every day.
Okay.
And our site in its performance ranks better than almost everybody else in the country. So our conversion rates are running at 3%, which you know, sometimes is giving us in excess of 4,000 or even 4,500 orders a day. But since we started implementing these very tight controls over cancellations to reduce returns over a longer term, we are processing a little over 3,000 invoices per day in our fulfillment centers. So now the last point is, like I said earlier, you know, we have come this far with a very small investment of 30 crores. And the company is still sitting on, you know, reasonable amount of cash, another 15, 20 crores. So we are not under any pressure of bleeding and burning out. However, you know, when we talk about long-term plans of building the company to 500 crores, 1,000 crores, or whatever, you know, going global, we can talk about these plans, but they're all subject to funding. And those are things that will happen in phases. As and when the funding happens, I'm sure we can talk about such plans with greater confidence and authority and give you more timelines. But yes, that still remains our ambition.
Okay. All right, Mr. Reddy, we leave those discussions to another day. Pleasure having you with us in the studio. Our stock is up close to about 15%, but we've got